cleaned. All right, I like that. Now we'll cover the oil system. This is the filler for the oil, so if you want to fill, this could also be a thing for, that could be your zinc too.
Oh yeah.
That could be a zinc. Okay, so this is your oil, and when you check the oil, you want a paper towel over there. The other thing is when you're checking the oil, don't use the blue
These paper
towels unless you really want to, because they're like 3 times the price of that paper towel over there.
Right.
Yeah, so conserve this one and
Conserve that one. That's for like when you're taking the engine, changing oil filter, and there's a big mess and you want to clean it up.
Or if you're using it, make sure next time you go into Canadian Tire, pick up some blue towels.
Okay, so because paper towel is cheap. Okay, so we're like, this is the full mark there, and we're at way down here, which is not bad. We're above this whole area where checkered marks are. Your oil can be in there and the engine will run fine. If you're below the checkered marks, like down here, add some oil. There's some oil in the back of the boat.
Like where the transom storage?
Where the transom storage is. There's some oil back there. There's some antifreeze back there. There's all sorts of products back there.
Is there a funnel for?
There's a funnel back there.
There's a funnel
too.
down under the seat
there's a
there.
funnel under the seat.
Oh,
I saw it there just now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the oil's fine.
And it's the oil is 1030, right, or something.
Yeah.
Are there
And
any
it's not
things to
synthetic.
No, it's not synthetic.
Yeah.
any things to know about the oil? Like, you know, when you want to add, like if it's hot engine or something, like are there any restrictions?
No.
Like can I pour oil when it's hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
The engine's hot, like you've run it all day long, and you
Yeah.
think,
I want to add some
I
oil.
want to just check the oil, see if the oil's down. Then
Right.
you can just take the cap off and pour more oil, and it's
Okay.
not going to hurt the engine anyway. Like
The
that.
oil has to be changed every 100 hours roughly.
Yeah.
Right.
And the previous trainer said 2 times per season for a club.
Okay.
But we don't use this boat in the winter time, so over the winter we haven't changed the oil. So we're going to change it next week at the beginning of the season.
And the most wear on the engine is when the engine starts up, he said.
Because the oil is cold and it needs to be pumped through the system. So you may have areas like the valve, the camshaft. That's where oil dissipates, and it's not there. So it could be dry after a long season. So, but cranking the engine usually gets the oil up to like onto that, because the oil pumps to the necessities parts right away. Like the top end and the camshaft and the crank, it pumps oil there right away because it needs to keep those things lubed.
It takes quite a while to heat the oil too, right? As we found out.
Yeah.
Because the cooling system keeps the oil very
when we're
cool.
heating up the oil, we turn these off, so we're not heating the water, and so we run the engine with these things off because we don't need these things
that's
on.
cooling them.
And to heat it up, you just do that before changing the oil, so it's very liquidy.
Because of the system I'm using, what I do is I have a straw, a line that goes down. This is where we get the oil out of here.
Right.
So we put a line down the tube and we suck the oil into a container that has oil, and then we use the vacuum on the container to make the container vacuum the oil out.
So you shut off these water lines,
And
run
then
the
we
engine
go
a
for
bit so it gets nice and
we
hot.
go out for a cruise. Harper.
Yeah, we motored all the way down to Cambie Street Bridge and back before the oil was warm enough to suck to vacuum the oil out.
When we tried it cold, no oil came out. Which is the antifreeze to see if the engine's overheating. The oil does the cooling, but it's mostly for lubricating. Antifreeze does the cooling for the engine. Okay, next thing is, this thing here, this is a 3-cylinder engine. This is the glow plugs, these 3 little glow plugs here. Put the flashlight so you can see. This here is the fuel pump. This here is the fuel pump. Yep. It pumps the fuel into, it's the primary pump. You see this little thing down here? It's just seized. That little seized thing down there. If you run out of fuel, you are fucked. Because this is supposed to move this thing that's all rusted, and that pumps the fuel manually. So if you can't turn the engine over and you run out of fuel or there's something happens, you can pump that little lever and it'll prime the system. And by priming the system, see this petcock here, this thing here, you loosen this off, and then you turn this one here, you loosen that off, that one there. Then you turn the engine over. When fuel starts to leak out around this line, that's the primary system. Then the fuel pump will pump this high pressure. So this is the high pressure side of the pump. So the fuel comes into there, and then this pumps it up to high pressure and injects it into the injector. So this thing here has a cam in here, so it only injects it when it's timed. So this thing here is timed to the engine, so when number one gets the top dead center, this thing will inject fuel into there. And then when it injects fuel, it's such a, like, it'll go like this. There's a high pressure spring in there. The fuel pressure will push the spring open and then shut it. That's the amount of fuel that needs to get in there. Then this line here is the return. This returns the fuel through here back to the tank. So they use the fuel to cool the system, cool the fuel system. So fuel gets this when you're running the engine for a long time, you'll fill these 3 lines. They get so hot you can hardly put your hand on them, because that is like 3,000 psi or 6,000 psi of fuel pressure in there, and that's being pumped and heated up. So the fuel returns these, and that keeps the system cooler.
If you put your hand on the tank and it's warm, that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the tank, that's the other thing. The other reason for keeping the tank full of fuel is it's keeping the fuel cool. So it's running the fuel through this engine and cooling the system, the injector system. So if you're running like low fuel, 2 things can happen. You could rock over and it suck air and you'll kill the engine. So always keep, and the other thing is will overheat the engine, the fuel system, by not having enough fuel.
Actually, like if we run out of fuel, like engine will survive it, or like I know that with diesel engines, like if you're running out of fuel,
you run out of fuel and it stops, you got a lot of work ahead of you. First of all,
because
our primer pump doesn't work, so you're using the starter to prime this engine, which is like a lot of work, right? So first thing you got to do is you got to get fuel in that tank, right? And then you have to use the starter to turn this engine over, because the primer pump doesn't work. That little lever there, that's supposed to push, and it doesn't work.
Small, tiny, and like how should it work? So like I should actually be bumping with it.
You should push it back and forth. It should be just like a spring-loaded.
push it down.
That's the pump?
That's the primer pump.
Primer pump.
But it's seized. It's rusted.
Yeah, and it's just like pumps fuel.
It pumps fuel to this line here.
Right.
So you open this, you crack that open, and then you push that lever, and it pumps fuel.
Can you show again, what do you crank open?
This thing right there, you just take a wrench and open that
Oh,
up.
I see.
And that just loosens the line off, so you can get fuel out.
So if I don't lose it, then I even cannot push the fuel through.
It's a lot harder.
So maybe that's why a lever doesn't go.
No.
It's
Lever's just
So you'd have to
The lever is rusted solid.
open that with a wrench and then use the starter to crank it over until
Yeah, you
oil's
could use
coming-
the
or until fuel's
crank
coming
the
out.
starter over, and then
And then
that's a lot of energy you're using, because it could take quite a while for that thing to bleed out.
Just fuel and time.
Just fuel and time. And then you still need the starter. Once you've closed this, you still need the starter turned over, so this thing will pressurize. And that could be, you could pressurize that easier by just cracking these, or one of these. Crack one of those. If you get one injector firing, you might get the engine started.
And then
So you can crack this and see, and don't wear glasses. Because this is like high pressure. So when you just loosen that off, you're going to get a mist. But that's going to be fuel and getting rid of the air. So you can tighten that up, and then that, if you get the one injector firing, the engine will fire. Because once the engine fires once, all the lines will fill up with fuel and you'll be on your way.
For now, the short story is don't run out of fuel.
Yeah, don't run out of fuel.
Yeah.
Make sure the fuel tank is, there's
Yeah,
a gauge back there.
This
Make
operation sounds like we gotta see how it works, like probably like without
No.
seeing it, like
No.
too much.
It's especially for
Fuel
like,
gauge back there.
yeah.
Here's the light. Here's the
drifting
light.
to a
Here's the
lee
light.
shore and you're like trying to get it
So
started.
don't run
and
out
it'll be
of
like,
fuel.
Well, it would be good to know how.
And
to
the
do
other
it.
reason for not running out of fuel
Take a picture
and
of
keeping
it
the
with
fuel
your
tank
camera,
full
and then-
is because
and then you
in the
can,
wintertime,
then you can look at
in the wintertime, if your tank is a little bit low on fuel, condensation, air in the wintertime has lots more moisture.
Right.
As the temperature raises up in the daytime, that moisture condensation and goes into the fuel. Then it cools off at nighttime, and then you got cold, moist air coming in, sucks into the fuel tank breather, because there's a breather at the back of the boat for the fuel tank. As the fuel goes down, that breather lets the fuel, lets the air into the tank. So keep the tank full, so you don't get condensation in the tank.
Let's just wait for
This fuel filter here. See that fuel filter there? If there's water, there's a bleed on the bottom of that.
Okay.
So if you think you have water in the tank, you can open the bleed and drain it into a little a cup or something. Like on the bottom, you can feel this thing on the bottom.
Okay.
You put a cup underneath it and you open that thing up. That'll drain fuel into a cup, and then you close it, and then you tilt the cup. And if it has any water in the cup, you can tell, because water and fuel do not mix unless you shake it.
Right.
So if it has water in it, you'll see on the bottom of there, that thing, that
Water's heavy.
you'll see water. Fuel is lighter than water.
Right.
So water's heavy. So it's sitting on the bottom. So that thing on the bottom is a water separator filter. So, and also a dirt filter. That's your first primary filter. That one there. That sorts the fuel out from.
do you
Actually,
clean
we
it
only
in
have
any
one-
way or just replace it?
We replace that filter.
I see.
We take the plastic thing off the bottom and then change the filter. So the filter has a bottom piece to it and a top. So you take the filter off, take the thing off,
Right.
change the filter, and we're going to be doing that with the oil change too.
What is it, like orange thingy? It also looks like a filter, right?
That's an oil filter. That's the
Oh,
oil
oil
filter.
filter.
So we're going to change that, and we're going to change that filter. We have both those filters.
Right.
And usually, like as a just when you operate the boat, you don't really need to worry about those filters too much, I guess.
The only thing you got to worry about that filter is you look at the bottom and see if you can
There's a
see any
bleed.
dirt or contamination.
I see.
If you see water in the bottom, you can
Right.
drain the fuel, a little bit of fuel into the. There's a check valve in here and there's a check valve in there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What do they do?
They make sure the fuel only goes one way. You don't want the fuel going the wrong way.
Oh,
So when there's a check valve, it makes fuel go. Oh, there is a second filter. There's another fuel filter here.
That's what I thought.
There's a secondary filter there.
Is that red one?
This
Yeah,
one,
the red one.
the
there
red
it
one
is.
back of the back
Yeah,
of the
there we go.
back. There's a filter down there.
fuel or oil?
That's fuel.
Fuel. Okay.
This is oil. That's fuel.
Right.
I knew there was. Just didn't know where it was.
Why is there a need for two fuel filters?
This here is to trap contaminants like gravel, water. That's a water
Like
separator
physical
filter.
shit.
This one here is way finer, so you don't want crap in that one because it would just plug up.
Right.
So that one there is a way finer filter, and it will take the minute particles out of the fuel,
I
like
see.
sludge and dust. Well, this will take sludge out, but that will take the last piece of fuel. So the fuel going in the engine is 100% clean, because if
Okay.
anything gets into that thing there or anything gets in here, they don't work anymore. Or like just the minus thing, like
They're
water,
tiny, tiny
make
balls.
those things fuck up.
And they're different style filters, right? They're different parts.
And this is the other reason you don't put gas in a diesel engine, because gas will go past these two filters and they will like cause problems, overheating, and cause problems in the injector and the pump.
Right.
So no putting gas in a diesel engine.
Dipstick to check the transmission fluid is down in there.
And you have to undo it with a 17 millimeter.
All right, 17 millimeter
wrench.
socket or crescent wrench. It looks.
I feel like we'll better see it on your video shot.
Yeah,
there it is.
And actually, like
Where's that rag you had?
Oh, that's
Paper
the
towel?
dipstick.
That's the dipstick. It should be at that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it's at that line, because I can
That
feel.
was
It has to be right on the line.
here somewhere.
What happened to the other paper towel I had? Okay, hold the light there so I can see.
But to test the level of transmission fluid, you've unscrewed it and then you drop it down, but don't screw it in to test it.
Okay, you're gonna hold the light. Hey, can you see the hole? I can't see the hole. Oh, there's the hole over there, right? The hole there? Oh yeah, that's the hole there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Don't screw it in, and then pull it out and then check it.
So the oil is the right height. It's right there.
Right at the line? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, see, you can see the oil.
So the line means like good level.
Yep.
The oil, yep, it's a good level.
It could be a millimeter above or below, but no more than variance.
Look at it.
I guess it's not like an engine with a range.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You can see if it's clean or not.
It's pretty clean. It's so clean you can't even see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess theoretically you can reach it from here. So I can see it well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even need to tell you what the wrench is.
Can you turn on the screen so I can make sure that you're filming?
Well,
Well,
you wanna
it films
cover
in
the
360, so it'll.
Like which is the house battery, which is battery number 1 and number 2?
Okay, that's the starter battery. See that battery down there? That's the engine starter battery. That one is used for starting the engine only. That's all it does.
And which battery is it on the
One and
It's not a big battery.
towel.
Is that battery number 1?
That's the
Yeah.
engine batteries for starting.
It's number one on this slide.
This
But-
one,
if-
these ones
yeah.
here. The batteries down here. See these two batteries down here? They are for running the boat. All the lights.
And, that
You
is-
leave the lights on, the radio on. You leave all that stuff on.
and those two together are battery number 2?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
They are wired together.
Yeah.
They're like, and they're a deep cycle battery, which means that you can drain them right down to nothing and charge them right back up and you won't hurt them. That battery there, you drain down below 10 volts and you're now causing problems.
Actually, the battery had to be replaced last year. It was like all swollen up like that.
Now, and the selection here, so we have
That's a battery, not-
Bay
I was
1, Bay 2, or
If
both.
you're
So that's
Yeah.
starter battery, house batteries,
No.
or both? No?
manual pump,
Down these
you're
batteries.
going to run this
Okay.
battery down.
That's only reason for
quickly.
turning this on to 1 and 2, these batteries 1 and 2, is because you need power from these batteries to make these solenoids down here. There's 2 solenoids. They are to energize the engine. So the engine is running, the engine electronics is running off these batteries, but the starter is running off that battery. So that thing there, when you turn the key on back there, that's all wired into these batteries, sends juice up to this relay, takes juice from that battery and runs it over to the starter and says, okay, now I can start. So if these batteries are totally dead, you're not going to get that one to work. Then you have to go over here on the starter and see this. This is your coil. This thing here sends juice from this battery and starts the engine. But you still need juice to work the glow plugs, because the glow plugs are probably wired into those batteries.
Okay. So for the selection, I'm just curious when you put it on which one. Like,
So
say
you
I'm
have
going
to
to
put
start
it
it.
on all.
Yeah.
Um, When you have it on 1, this is good enough for the bilge pump, your bilge pump, and then you can come over here and say, oh, I'm not gonna, the bilge pump is low on battery. I could put it on 2 and run before I start the engine, because the bilge pump ran all the juice out, or someone left the lights on in the interior, or whatever happened. But right now it's only draining 1 set of batteries. You leave it on both batteries, and now you're going to be draining both batteries. Right?
They equalize.
But
They equalize.
But
then like
if I show up to start the boat and I'm going out, maybe put it on 2 so you have all the power? Or no?
I keep it on 1 all the time.
keep it on
I
one
don't
all
know.
the time.
Keep it on 1, yeah. You can put it on 2 if you think, oh man, this is like low power.
Yeah.
You can put it on 2. I wouldn't put it on both, because both is going to drain one battery 2 into battery
But
1.
if you're having trouble starting, maybe.
You're having starter battery, that's one thing to do, is put it on 2, and then you got, because right here it says it's 13.76 volts on 2, and this is 13.76 volts. Well, also we're plugged in, so it's a fake reading. You're reading the charger.
Does that switch affect the charging or no?
No, the charging's done through the AC.
And charging is always all the batteries, I guess.
It charges just these batteries.
Yeah, but you don't have to
This
set
one
the battery
here, once you
selection
start
for
the
charge.
engine, that one starts to charge back up because it's hooked to the alternator.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
But the alternator also charges these batteries indirectly.
we use it on, leave it on one all the time because of the bilge pump has to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have it wired directly to the battery, the bilge pump. It should be, but it's not.
No, it's
Okay.
wired. The battery is the bilge pump is
So-
wired to that system.
So
So
for
leave it
instance,
on one.
So if you turn the batteries off and go home, the bilge pump's not going to work.
So if it was wired correctly, you would
It's
just
like-
turn it off when you're going home.
See, you turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
You turn it off like this. No bilge pump. Okay, you turn
So it's
on
just like this boat
one.
kind of thingy.
With the bilge pump. You turn it on to 2. With the bilge pump.
Do we have a checklist with things like that on?
Yeah, you were supposed to make that up.
Andrew Sinski said he has a bunch of checklists here.
Yeah.
Like he's a
No,
pilot thing.
He's
We
gonna-
have.
Oh, one side
So
for
we've
coming
checked
in.
the oil and we made sure the petcock is open and we're ready to run the engine. Okay?
So what, just point out the glow plugs there.
I am going to do that right now.
Okay.
So
The glow plugs are heating it up. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
No, but what did
He's
John
gonna show
say?
us.
Oh,
okay. I'll show you. You don't need to have the light on. I can see the glow plug. Okay. So this is ground. Anything on an engine is ground. This is ground. This is a good ground right here. Okay, you want to turn the glow plugs on. This is the glow plug right here. This line.
right.
Jumped right
Okay, so we got 11.26 volts. That's how much power is going to the glow plugs. Other than that, you can't test anything unless you take the glow plugs out and check them. Like you could take that cable off, that line off, take the plug out, take the glow plug out, and check to make sure that the glow plug is actually. Or you could take this, if you were to check the glow plugs to see if they're working, you could take this line off and use the ohms through there to there, individually. See if one of the glow plugs has not got them right. This is the throttle. When he, that's the kill switch. This is the throttle. You want to move the throttle back and forth just so they can see the difference? See this cable here? This is the throttle. This is what makes the engine go fast and slow. Okay? This is the kill switch. This one here, you pull this, and that stops the engine. Shuts the fuel off. All this does is shut the fuel off.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, John, start it up. And this is the oil pressure line. This goes to
Glow
this
plugs
gauge.
for about 10 to 15 seconds.
Yep.
And then cranking 10 to 15 seconds as well, maximum. And absolute maximum is 30 seconds. Otherwise, the muffler will fill up with water.
And that's how it should start. And this thing here is the oil pressure switch. It goes to a light back there that tells the light down we now have oil pressure. You can also check the oil pressure here. We have 60 psi of oil pressure. That's where the engine should be running at all times. If you're getting down below 40 psi of oil pressure, it's time to do some oil changing.